It has been 24 years since Kate Winslet starred in Titanic, and of course, since then, she's gone on to become one of the most successful and most popular actresses working today. But she admitted during the Los Angeles Times Actress Roundtable that navigating those waters after that mega hit wasn't easy.
And there was definitely a moment after Titanic when there was, quite a bit of pressure. This is it, crest of the wave. This is the moment young actors dream of. And look at this incredible offer that's come in, and look at this salary you're being offered. And I was too scared. I wasn't ready to be a famous person. I was 21, 22 years old. I had so much to learn. I didn't want to screw up early on. I wanted to always be doing this job. And I at least was smart enough to know that you don't do that by taking a big fat paycheck and just going with the biggest, fattest opportunity just because it's there. And that seems to be the thing you're meant to do. And so I did push back, and I did do smaller films, and I did things that I knew would actually make me happy and would challenge me, regardless of whether anyone saw them or not. And that was where I had to be brave. That was where my agents, who I'm still with to this day, were like, oh my God.
Hey, what was it like? Can I ask you what it was like being so young during Titanic? Because that film was so massive.
It was really,
did it like blow your mind after it came out and you realized that many people were watching you in the cinema?
I tell you, I went from being able to walk out the door of my little 2-bedroom flat in North London, go across the road, buy a pint of milk and some bread and the newspaper. I went from that one day to absolutely not being able to do that the next day. And that really, really upset me. And it made me feel almost offended, like, hang on, how can I have got this wrong? I never signed up for that. I didn't sign up for no, you can't have your normal life that matters to you so much. And it was hard.
Did you know at the time when you were making it, did you have a feeling of?
I didn't. I was like, I was playing an American for the first time. Wow, this is a new exciting thing. And, working with Leo, who of course I had seen in Gilbert Grape and Basketball Diaries. And, it's like, oh my God, I'm Kate from Reading.
Wow. This is well-grounded lady for sure. Yeah, Roz, what do you think about that?
Love Kate Winslet. She's always been one of my absolute favorites, and she is one of the more, and I think because of that, because of how fast it hit her, she is still so grounded in that person sort of that she was pre-Titanic. Kate Winslet is still the first, star on that level that I've ever talked to. When you talk to people about the potential of, being nominated or winning an Academy Award, every single person, will always sort of play it off. Oh, it's okay. That's not why I do this. Kate Winslet was the first person that looked me in the face and went, of course I want to win. Who wouldn't want to win? She's a different person, and I'm sorry that she had to go through that, because it must have been incredibly shocking what that was like one day, compared to the next. But I love that when you hear her speak, she still sounds like that person that she talks about when she was younger, pre-Titanic, and you still get that sense from her. But she's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it has to be very jarring to get an opportunity and to be able to do something that you absolutely love, but didn't realize what comes with that. And even her saying, being able to do the simplest things. One day she was able to go to the store and grab some milk and bread, and then the next day she couldn't do that. I mean, it can be very jarring to someone, and especially at a young age. But, people get into the industry for various reasons, and obviously, she gets into it for the love of the art and what she does. Of course, she wants to win an Oscar, because who doesn't have the Oscar speech, prepared already? But, there's heart there to want to do this because this is something that you enjoy doing. And everything that comes with it, the fame and all that, can be very jarring and very I didn't realize all of this came with something that I enjoy doing.
Yeah, and granted, she didn't win an Oscar. She was nominated 5 times and she won. I think she's the one that says she keeps in the bathroom, so when people go into her bathroom, they can do the speech into the mirror. I think she's the one that has it in the bathroom. But I find both her and Leo, I find it so fascinating. Like, they both did it. They both managed to create these insanely great careers out of Titanic. I mean, there's been some movies that have come along that these young actors are in, and they flame out after a couple of years. And I find it fascinating that Kate and Leo took two different paths. Like she says, she went the indie route, did more indie movies. She's done some, big movies along the way, but she went the more indie route. And then Leo really chose movies every couple of years. He still went the Hollywood route, but he would wait every couple of years. Like, I was just looking on his IMDb. So he waited 3 years, and then he did The Beach. Then 2 years later was Gangs of New York and Catch Me If You Can. So he really was very choosy in what he did, but stayed in the Hollywood lane. But then Kate went more the indie lane, and they both made it. If you think about the last decade, they're two of the biggest actors around. And it's just fascinating that out of Titanic, they went different routes, but they both managed to end up at the same destination, to just be, these revered actors in Hollywood, who just, two of the best actors around.
Yeah. I think Kate wanted to.
When you look at.
Oh no, go ahead, Ross.
No, I was just going to say that when oftentimes I think that the interesting thing is, and specifically Graham, tying these two actors together with Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, when you look at the long list of people who gained that level of fame very, very young, you notice something with everybody else that didn't really apply to, and I don't know why, to Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, and that is they gained that fame at a very young age, but those two seem to be able to grow in that world, where so many other young stars have a very hard time growing from what made them ultra famous, and that didn't apply to them. And I think that that's sort of what made their careers take off, is that they were able to grow where so many other young stars just aren't.
Yeah, and I think she definitely wanted to hone in on her craft more, and I think that's why she went the indie route, so that she could feel more comfortable and confident in her skill of acting. But I mean, aside from Titanic, I have to say my favorite Kate Winslet movie has to be The Holiday. I love that movie. I wish I could swap lives with someone. You know what, Graham? We can swap. Like, if you want to come to LA, I'll come to Toronto.
Sure.
And we can swap lives for a week or two. It'd be like a vacation for both of us.
Sure, I'll take that.